sir.
All right, take care.
Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
Well, good morning and a happy Friday. You've made it to the end of another week. For whatever that may mean. To some people, it means nothing. But in any case, it is a Friday. Got Larry Burr with me here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm okay.
That's
Yourself?
good.
Yeah.
I am doing fine.
My head's someplace else, kind of, you know.
Really? We'll fix that. You can give us a call, whatever you want to discuss. We're here, of course, to listen, if nothing else. 434-394-0924. Got some interesting tidbits that we dug up about the Super Bowl, of course, coming up this Sunday. Some little tidbitty trivia we'll share with you. Of course, our history, where we start 1763. Britain, Spain, and France signed the Treaty of Paris. Of course, that would end the 7 Years' War, or as we learn it here in American history, the French and Indian War. Everywhere else in the world, it's the 7 Years' War. But, 1840, Britain's Queen Victoria would marry Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. Yep.
Well said.
And next thing you know, we're usually bringing trees into our house to celebrate Christmas. 1936, Nazi Germany's Reichstag would pass a law investing the Gestapo secret police with absolute authority, exempt from any legal review. Yeah. There it goes right there, boy. Right down the toilet.
I'm biting my tongue. Oh.
About the Gestapo getting absolute authority?
Yeah.
Or about how it relates to things happening in our own country today?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. And that's not new. 1959, a major tornado tore through St. Louis, killing 21 people, causing heavy damage.
Have you been to St. Louis?
No, I have not. I
Do you
think
have
the
a
arch would
desire?
be cool to see.
Exactly. That's what
The arch would be cool, especially knowing there's an elevator in there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
We drove past it on the way here. I made our route so that it would go past there, and I thought we were going to stay close by, and it was the 4th of July. I thought, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Guess again.
It didn't manifest quite that way.
Yeah.
We were just 20 miles outside of town, and we were too exhausted to go back and see it, but I saw the arch. That was my bucket list.
I think a lot of people have probably seen it much more than have actually, stopped. They've seen it, and that's okay. That's good enough. I saw it. I think it's one of those kind of things.
How about the Washington Monument? Have you gone?
No, never been that far west.
Oh, no, the Washington.
Oh, the Washington. Sorry, for some reason my head Washington. I immediately saw a vision of Mount Rushmore. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, many times.
It's impressive.
It is. The thing I
than
think
I
that's
thought
most
it would be.
impressive was that it was really built by, thanks to all the different states who donated all these blocks and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. 1962, the Soviet Union would exchange captured American U-2 pilot Gary Francis Powers for Rudolf Abel, the Soviet spy held here in the States. 67, the 25th Amendment, that of course deals with presidential disability and secession, was ratified. Minnesota and Nevada would finally adopt it, and that's what it would take to make that happen. Jump to 1981, 8 people killed. That was a fire set by a busboy. Broke out at the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel and Casino. Yeah. 1989, Ron Brown, elected. He was the first black chairman of the Democratic National Committee. In 92, boxer Mike Tyson convicted in Indianapolis of the rape of Desiree Washington. She was a Miss Black America contestant. He served 3 years in prison for that. On the same day, we would lose Alex Haley, the classic author of Roots. He died at home in Seattle. He was 70 years old. So, yeah.
Tyson, what a controversial character. I mean,
I remember when he first came out around in boxing and stuff, and it was just amazing to see him, the way he fought, and people who never were into boxing were in. And then you kind of like, all of a sudden, what happened to him? What was he doing? What was he smoking? Who did he start hanging around with? It just...
Did it start with the ear biting, or
in the ring?
You know,
yeah.
And now you see him. I see him in a lot of movies. You know, he's got a lot of these cameos and stuff like that. So he's just so recognizable with that. And when he talks, especially.
Well, the talk, and he's got one of those weird face tattoo things.
Oh yeah,
now.
The tattoo on the face definitely kind of gives it away. Here.
He looks like a character out of Star Trek.
Yeah,
with that.
I actually kind of like it, but
I mean, to each their own.
Face tattoos.
Yeah,
everybody.
For some people, they're very big.
Is there anybody in town here that do a face tattoo?
I'm sure one of the tattoo places will do face tattoos.
You have multiple.
We have multiple. We do. We have multiple.
You? Do you have multiple?
All of my tattoos are either from my own stupidity or by the grace of the higher power.
Nice.
Yeah. No. Nature has given me enough natural tattoos. I don't need to purchase any.
That makes me think of the act of scarring, you know? If they look good, you know, if you've seen somebody with good scars.
Some. I won't say they all look good.
Well, yeah, but it's an interesting methodology for decorating yourself.
To do it on purpose?
Yeah. You haven't seen that?
No. I'm really not into self-harm.
No, I'm not.
It's not
either.
my kind of thing.
But the scars look great. Oh, we got a caller.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you how crazy you are.
Yes.
Morning, you're on the air. Nope. Another one of those didn't mean to call the on-air line.
Oh,
numbers.
Hang up fast.
It happens. It happens. Let's see. Let's finish our history here. 96, world chess champion Garry Kasparov lost the first game of a match in Philadelphia against, of course, Deep Blue, the IBM computer. Now, Kasparov would end up winning the match 4-2. But in a rematch in the following year, he was defeated.
Was it?
Yeah, they had made some upgrades to the computer, and it had learned even more. It began to learn his specific strategy, and it beat him. That was pretty wild. I remember that big time. 2005, North Korea boasted publicly for the first time that it had nuclear weapons. And we'll wrap up in 2015. NBC announced it was suspending Brian Williams from the nightly news anchor spot, managing editor for 6 months as well, without pay. That was for misleading the public about his experiences covering the Iraq War. So I'm sure you remember that. So there you go. Oh, birthdays. Wow. Opera singer Leontine Price. What a voice. 96 today. Robert Wagner. Jonathan Hart himself. 93. He looks great for 93.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he looks fantastic, man. Is that all? That's what he like. Roberta Flack, 86. Wonderful voice. Jimmy Merchant was one of the teenagers from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. He's 83. Bob Spalding from The Ventures, 76 today. Mark Spitz. Remember Mark Spitz?
Yes,
Olympic gold swimmer.
Yes.
Wheaties box star. 73 today. Bob Iger, the former Disney executive, is 72. Disney, you heard, they made the announcement they're going to be laying off 7,000 folks.
Man.
What
Joining
a mess.
the layoff, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of them. Who else here? Corey Lirios, musician and composer. Pablo Cruz is really what people know. Who else here? George Stephanopoulos, the news correspondent, is 62. Laura Dern, wonderful actress, 56 today. Local, Vince Gilligan, writer, producer, director. Of course, Breaking Bad was his big thing. Local guy. Very nice. Had the opportunity to talk to him. His mom is a sweet, sweet lady. Really sweet lady.
When you say local, do you mean Virginia or Farmville?
No, right here, Farmville, Buckingham.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Very
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. A nice guy. Very nice guy. Actually talked to him and when we were closing up the original station. Of course, he grew up listening to Flo,
Right.
so packaged up a bunch of promo stuff that we still had laying around, and he asked for that, so I gave him a bunch of promo stuff. So it was really, really cool. Like I said, very nice guy. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Christopher.
Hey, Mr. Amos, how are you?
All right. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they put out some coins on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, one of the quarters, when they were doing all those commemorative state quarters, has Mount Rushmore in the back.
Well, I got some.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember what it was quarters I had.
Yeah, they were the quarters when they did because they did two different types of collector quarters.
Yeah.
Do they work anything now?
Quarter.
Quarter.
Yeah. They printed so many of those things now that's just a quarter.
Well, I never have seen another one.
Really? Oh, Lord, see them all the time. Yeah. There are tons of those out there. Those are those state quarters. And they have the images of things to represent all the states. Yeah.
Well, according to the TV, the silver dollars are bringing a whole lot of money.
Well, yeah, silver's up, and a lot of people have been turning them in, to get the money for silver. So the more that are turned in and melted down, the less there are of the coins. So, yeah, the coin value.
What are the dollars worth now?
Oh, I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You think about $12 a piece?
I'm guessing.
I don't know.
Well, I'll let you go.
All righty. Yeah.
Right.
Take a look and see what it's worth. I guess it probably depends on condition and year. So,
yeah.
All righty.
All right.
Take care. Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you want to just sell it for silver content, then it's the value, whatever an ounce of silver is going for. But to a collector, I mean, if it's, uncirculated mint or something, depending on the year, if it's a Walking Liberty.
Yeah. My parents bought each one of us kids a full, set of coins.
Oh, yeah, when the mint would put out those every year.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I still have mine.
I have some of the coin sets like that, and the stamp. Remember the post office every year used to put out a collection. I think they still do.
Did you collect anything like that?
I used to when I was young. I still have all the ones from when I was a kid, and then I have some. The post office for a while there, late 80s, early 90s, were doing a lot of books to go with specialty stamps. Like they would do the series of like great vaudeville stars or I don't know, national parks, and so over the course of the year they would release stamps, and then you could also buy this beautiful hard book. So I have a lot of those. During the commemorative of D-Day, they did special stamps.
Yeah.
So I have things like that.
I tried to get some of those for my son, but he never really bought into it very much. But.
I wouldn't call myself a collector, but certain specialty ones, either I love the look of the stamp or it celebrated something I thought was really special.
It's tough. I always kind of wanted to collect coins.
Yeah. I had an uncle who was very big in coin collecting.
Yeah. They have a new app for the phone, so you can click it to see if it's a rare.
Oh, yeah. You take an image of the coin itself.
So much better. I mean, because you never know. I mean, just because it's old doesn't mean it's worth anything. It's like...
Well, that's the same with books. So as a book collector, there are people who are like, well, I have this book that's really old. Oh, okay. Yes. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's got value.
I got boxes and boxes and boxes of old books. Yeah. My grandmother and my grandfather were both teachers. My dad was a teacher, and it just seemed like these books got handed down over and over again.
Now, are these textbooks or
both? Got music on one side, and we've got library books, textbooks.
Okay,
yeah. So, like, I found the first edition of something, but it has like the stamp on it and the little envelope.
If it's particularly rare, even the library edition could be. It's probably not but it potentially.
Well, and then again, how do you know until you
got
go
to
to an
know
expert?
the resources, and then do the. Thankfully, with books too, there's a lot of great resources you can go to
getting better,
and
yeah.
find stuff. All right, what are we celebrating today? It's National Home Warranty Day, so warranties on your appliances and, of course, your water heater and things. Make sure you fill them out. I mean, they can make the difference.
Just when you thought you were
problems happen.
safe to go back into the water, and they come up with
National Home Warranty Day.
Somebody's, I'm sure, celebrating.
Yeah, probably the people with the warranty companies, I guess. It's National Umbrella Day. Not that you'll need an umbrella today. It just honors one of the most useful inventions. That's all it's about, is to honor the umbrella. Any umbrellas to fix today.
Do you think somebody gets, commission off of every umbrella out there? I mean, does he have a patent on the umbrella?
Probably not. I would probably think whoever initially came up with the design that's been around for so long that patent is probably not. Now, there might be certain umbrellas, features, because I know like there's a reverse umbrella.
Yeah.
And so that's probably still under a patent. I guess it depends on the umbrella.
Yeah.
I think in general, no. Probably not.
But wouldn't you like to have a commission off of every umbrella? That
Could
was
you
sold?
imagine? Especially because people always lose umbrellas.
Exactly.
They're always having to buy a new one. It's also National Cream Cheese Brownie Day.
Well, I can
So
deal
make
with
some
that.
of them. Make some of them.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever had a cream cheese brownie. I may have and didn't even know it, but I'm not sure. Of course, Sunday is the big game.
What's that game?
Super Bowl. Yeah, if you're one of those people. Wow. But found some interesting stuff here.
Really?
Yeah.
Unlike you.
I know. People across the U.S., of course, getting ready to get together to watch the game. Some, it's just the ads. But looked up the top 50 most populous cities to determine where the big parties are going to happen. Mm-hmm. Number one spot for Super Bowl parties is Minneapolis.
Really?
Yep.
They don't have a lot of other things to do.
Well, true. One of the only Midwest cities that make the top 10, aside from Omaha, which was number 7th. All right? But most parties actually happen in the South.
Really?
Atlanta comes in at number 2, Raleigh, number 3, Tampa 4, Miami 5. So those are the top 5.
Wow, they like to party in the South.
Yeah, those are the big party. Now, oddly enough, in the big state of Texas, only one city, Austin makes even the top 30 list. It comes in at 29. It just makes it. Wow. Some states lie low. Places actually like New York, Illinois, and Michigan don't even make the top 30. Yep.
So, is there anything in Arizona?
Well, in Arizona, not in the top 30.
Really?
Not in the top 30.
I bet there's some California.
Oh, yeah. Long Beach, 17th. Oakland is at 30. Sacramento is at 14. Yeah. So when you look at it, Minneapolis, Atlanta, Raleigh, Tampa, Miami gave you the top 5. Denver is number 6.
Cool.
Omaha at 7. Las Vegas is number 8. Washington, D.C., number 9.
Really?
And Arlington here in Virginia is number 10. Interestingly enough, just missing out in the top 10 at number 11, Virginia Beach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go Virginia.
So, those are your big party cities. Now, 83% of folks say they plan to watch the game, or at least have it on. 50% are going to do it by streaming, and 50% through regular broadcast or cable. So even the Super Bowl is already at 50-50. Cable, and you better start streaming is it, folks. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
More than 1 in 10 say they will be hosting a Super Bowl party this year.
Oh, so hallelujah for you people.
Yeah, that's a big one. 22% of people are going to a party. Now, this is interesting. 47% of people in the country think the Super Bowl shouldn't be on Sunday, that it should be on Saturday. I'm sure that's because of the hangovers afterwards.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably why.
Sure, that's what.
Probably why.
It wouldn't hurt.
53%, though, say leave it alone, leave it on Sunday, obviously. So this is the one I think is the real interesting number. Even though their team, as people would say, isn't playing in the bowl, 72% will still watch the game, no matter who's playing. 72% of the people polled will watch it.
And there's a lot of people that just can't get enough football.
That's it.
They're-
Well, 43% say the reason to watch is the game. 21 say it's just to go to a party and be with friends. They don't care about the game. It's just the idea of that they're with their friends having a good time.
We all know those people.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. 14% say they watch just for the halftime show.
Yeah.
And 11 it's for the advertisements.
Yeah.
Which I've seen a couple. I've watched a couple of them already streaming.
Quite the spectacle.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. 19% purposefully watch the ads. They'll go to the bathroom if there's like replays or something like that. They won't go during a commercial.
Yeah.
At 31%, though, of the people polled said if they had their choice, they would rather watch the Puppy Bowl than the Super Bowl off Animal Planet. So that's an interesting number. I thought that. Of course, Rihanna is the halftime show. And so questions were done about that, too. 59% of the people say they're indifferent about whoever's going to sing halftime. They don't care one way or the other. But when it comes to Rihanna specifically, only 34% of the people said they were happy that she was the one doing the halftime show.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Is her audience is a bit of a younger crowd? Would we say that?
Maybe that more of an attraction is to a younger crowd and less to that kind of sports crowd. I'm really not sure. I thought that was interesting.
Does she appeal to women more than men, maybe? And so they aren't polling very well?
Yeah, it could be. I haven't done enough looked into Rihanna herself, as far as that. But now, how much you think the average person spends on Super Bowl Sunday? Not if whether or not they're throwing a party, just in general. The Super Bowl's on. You're going to watch the game. Mm-hmm. How much do you think the average American spends? Chips and sodas, drinks, whatever. Very close. $69. $69. Yep. 72% of that goes to food, 63% to drinks, and 9% on other supplies, paper plates or decorations or whatever.
Do they count in like all the cars that were sold, afterwards because of the advertising?
No, and I don't think there's many. No, this is literally just purchases for the game. 20% of people place bets. 20% bet just on the outcome, but 8% get involved in betting on individual players, how much yardage they'll make, how many catches, how many completed passes, so on and so things like that.
I avoided the fantasy football stuff,
Oh,
But I have relatives that live and die by fantasy football.
It's become real big in certain parts of the country.
Yes.
I think there are certain people that really love that stuff. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, man.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Okay, I have I guess useless info for the Super Bowl. So I was somewhere, and these guys were installing a television from one of the big box stores, and I asked them, I was like, "When do you sell most of your televisions at the Super Bowl or Christmas?" And he says, "Well, we sell most of them at the Super Bowl." Let's see how. Okay, most of it we do more installs on Christmas, but we do more sales at the Super Bowl. And more returns.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people will go buy a big one and then try and take it back.
Oh yeah, he's like, we got boxes everywhere, open boxes everywhere after the Super Bowl.
Well, Super Bowl time, January is the best month to buy a new TV. You're going to get your best deal. It's not Black Friday. It is actually January pre-Super Bowl sales. Then you're going to get your best deal.
Well,
yeah.
No, I buy used ones all the time.
Yeah.
This is the best deal you can get.
Oh,
so,
at a box store?
yeah, wait till after the Super Bowl to get your,
And
there
get
you
one
go.
that somebody, it's hardly ever been
now,
used.
now I want to go to. So I got to
Yeah.
take Monday off. I have to go to the TV store.
Oh well. You'll have trouble because you have to be able to walk on water for that. Yeah, that's interesting. I can't say I'm surprised to hear that though.
Oh, I for some reason I was surprised. I didn't think they were the. Well, I guess we are people, but I really didn't think we were like that.
Well, I guess it doesn't surprise me. Like I said, knowing that that's when the biggest deals are, that more people would buy them then. But yeah, you do always see at least the images we see of like Black Friday and the sales between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's always people running out of the store with a giant screen TV. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys were talking about Mike Tyson a little while ago.
Yeah.
Did you know he has a cartoon?
No.
For some reason, I was scanning maybe PBS or something, and he was on there, and they had his voice, but he was playing like Mike Tyson, the bad, or he was like a crime buster type of guy.
On one of the
Running
kid
around
shows
with
or
the kids.
something? Huh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was nothing adult about it. But,
Interesting.
yeah.
For several reasons, that's interesting. Okay. No, that is news to me. I had no idea. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So if you're ever in a Mike mood,
Maybe he's teaching kids not to bite. Trying to make amends.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
gosh. But anyway, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in.
Well, it's interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, wow. So Mike Tyson's doing cartoons on PBS, huh?
He's going to do whatever he can do.
I guess. I don't know. It's weird. That's weird. Well, I do have one other interesting piece of Super Bowl trivia I looked up for you.
Okay.
So, of course, no surprise today in the age we're in, we just Google everything. People just Google things.
Absolutely.
So have the Super Bowl-related questions that were most Googled from each state.
Interesting.
So some are interesting. Some of them are interesting. Some are kind of much exactly what you'd think. For example, Arkansas, it's where to watch the Super Bowl. Arizona, what time does it start? California, how much are tickets? Now, Connecticut wanted to know when is Super Bowl Sunday. Some places like Florida, when did the Dolphins last win the Super Bowl? Delaware, when did the Eagles last win the Super Bowl? Hawaii wanted to know who had the most Super Bowl rings. Indiana, who is the halftime show? Virginia, our question, where do we stream the Super Bowl? Most Googled Super Bowl related question in the state, where do we stream it?
Fox.
Well, that's probably one of several sources. If you want to pay for Fox Sports.
No.
I don't pay for Fox Sports, although I get it free.
So I looked it up. It said, it said it was free, but it's
Well-
probably a trial thing, and then you're having to have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like NFL Network. But I know how to get it for free.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do tell.
Not on the air. Of course, so Vermont, gotta like this in Vermont, where most people are fairly well off in Vermont. What's the cheapest ticket? is what they want to know. Several have asked the same where to stream. Maine also asked the same question as we did here in Virginia. Most, where do we stream the Super Bowl? So it's interesting to see. New Hampshire also asked the same question: where do we stream? So, the one that I find the most interesting, actually, though, personally, came out of Montana.
Oh, yeah?
They want to know what time does it start Mountain Time. They want to be specific for their time zone.
I like people who are specific.
That's it.
That's good.
That is it. Utah must not watch much football at all because they want to know who's playing, was their question.
Who is that?
Utah.
Oh, okay.
Utah. Who's playing at the Super Bowl?
Do you like Utah? I mean,
Never been there.
I was highly disappointed in Salt Lake City myself. But.
Well, I guess if you ever wanted to see the Salt Lake, you better go because what do they say? It will be gone at the rate it is drying up. It will be gone within, did they say 30 years? I mean, quicker than you'd think.
That's right.
Because as it gets smaller, it evaporates more exponentially faster. So, yeah. So there's some interesting, just little, I say interesting, I thought some of these things were interesting. I thought it was a cool way to kind of tie into your weekend with the game and gives you some trivia and some tidbits you can talk about when you have your Super Bowl party.
I am ready.
So
I'm ready for Super Bowl. I'm ready for Super Bowl party. What time am I supposed to be there?
Whose?
Yours?
I don't have a Super Bowl party.
Oh, I get it. We're on the air.
I have had a Super Bowl party, but I won't be having one this year.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Don't come to Chris's house. He has signs. No trespassing. Prosecutors will be eaten. Of course, we've talked several times about Super Bowl ads, and so they slowly are releasing more and more tidbits on the ads to tease you. Of course, the breaks between the gameplay of the biggest sporting event of the year, as it is here, at least in America. Advertisers spend millions. Crypto ads and automakers are less. So you'll see less car commercials, too. We talked about how the crypto ads are out.
Excellent.
But you'll see less car commercials.
Good.
Major food brands. M&M has got a new commercial they're going to be doing.
Perfect.
Google is going to be doing an ad. Peacock will promote their streaming service as well. And, of course, we mentioned about Anheuser-Busch not being exclusive, so that means you will see more alcohol advertisers as well. Now, some big-name advertisers, T-Mobile and Google specifically, are some of those $7 million drops. But to get their return, like others, they're going for big celebs. John Travolta and Scrubs star Donald Faison and Zach Braff will sing in a T-Mobile-themed version of Summer Nights from Greece. So be prepared for that.
Oh, I was wondering why John Travolta was on a singing.
Yep, there you go. Adam Driver, who has made a name for himself with the new Star Wars universe, creates multiple versions of himself for a Squarespace ad. So those are two more that you can look forward to. I have to say, I did get a chance to see the Will Ferrell ad.
Oh, yeah?
Watched that last night. That is funny. That is very funny.
Is.
So
even if I don't want to like him, I do. It's just
yeah. Some of the movies that I think to myself, that's so stupid.
Exactly.
It's just too stupid. But then some things I just think that's brilliant. So he strikes me either way. Of course, it's also Mardi Gras. Let's not forget, we got Mardi Gras getting ready to come up here. And the lead up to the annual Mardi Gras celebration intensifies today. 3 parades are happening today in Nolens, down St. Charles Avenue. They are the first of more than 24 processions that will lead up to Mardi Gras, which happens on the 21st. Smaller scale celebration will happen first Friday morning, where animal lovers will gather to pay tribute to the canine king and queen of the Mystic Crew of Barkus, as it's called.
Have you ever done
it? Been to Mardi Gras?
Yeah.
Not down in Nolens.
Oh, that's another bucket list for me. I want to do that.
It would be fun. I have some friends who are from Louisiana, and so I could probably work something out. Call them up because they have family down there and go down all the time.
Do it while you're still young enough.
Young enough. I'm probably not young enough to get beads thrown at me anymore, but we'll see.
Anymore.
Yeah,
nice.
Lord, we really have to break. We were way over. We got talking about Super Bowl and just flying on by. We have got to do our business here from the bottom of the hour. It's 8:43. Let's take a look at your weather first. It's brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. With over 30 years of banking experience, I'm here to help you finance your commercial, agricultural, or personal project. Give us a call at 391-1136 or stop by our downtown office at 216 North Main Street, where you'll find old school personal assistance with attention to detail. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right, sunny today, highs in the upper 60s, some west winds 6 to 10 miles an hour. Cloudy this evening with lows in the upper 30s. Now Saturday, partly sunny during the day, highs in the low 50s. Saturday night, well, practically Sunday morning, really, is when all the mix happens. 60% chance of precipitation. Looking at rain, snow, sleet mix, mainly not until around 3 or 4 in the morning. Otherwise, cloudy Saturday night, lows in the low 30s. Now, Sunday, it is a 90% chance. We start out as rain, snow, sleet mixed through the morning. Somewhere around 9, 10 a.m., it should turn into all rain. So we're not expecting any kind of accumulation. It'll all get washed away. Highs around 40 degrees. Northeast winds 8 to 15, gusts as high as 23 miles an hour. Sunday night, still 80% chance of rain till the early morning hours with lows in the low 30s. And then sunny on Monday, highs in the upper 50s. Right now, 63% humidity, barometer pretty steady, 30.01 inches. The wind from this morning has died out. We've still got beautiful blue skies and sunshine out there, and we're now at 58 degrees here outside of the WFLO studios.
Nice.
Yes, beautiful. Your weather brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County. That includes branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Keysville, Brookneal, and the loan office right here in downtown Farmville. You know, time now for your birthday and anniversary calendar. Of course, it is brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson PC on Main Street in Farmville. And it's Friday, so we have today's birthdays as well as the weekend. Larry, who's got today? Who's on Friday?
We have a lot of people that have birthdays around this time.
We do.
Let's start with Gladys Leshore from Dillwood. Happy birthday. Steve Bolt of Farmville. Ashley Bolt Poitras, also from Farmville. And Allie Dutt.
Oh, happy birthday, Allie.
Do we? Are we going to celebrate anybody's birthdays on the weekend now?
We'll do the weekend too, but well, you want to finish Friday?
First things
first, so they say.
I see that.
You see that now?
Let me see. Tammy Shoemaker, happy birthday.
That's right. We got that call yesterday.
Dean Simmons, happy birthday. Teresa Marlar, happy birthday. And Jeb Hines. I hope you guys are having the
today.
best day
That's
ever.
A lot for one day.
It is.
That's a good one. All right, sweet. Yeah, we do. We also have Saturday and Sunday birthdays. So tell you what, we will do our break. We'll be back with our weekend birthdays right after this.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson PC is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, business formations, and collections. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson PC for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Yep. So we got Saturday. Who's on Saturday?
Birthdays. This is the best one. Thomas Jones of Farmville will be 5 years old on the 12th.
Happy birthday, Tom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. For Saturday, we have Sophia Mitchell, Evie Skeens, Daniel C. Houchkins, Dylan Long, and Stuart Covington.
All right.
Okay, now for Sunday, we have Wyatt Bishop, Avery Kilborn, Steve Sisk Jr., Kobe Abel, and Pepper Arnold. Love that name.
Papa.
And last, we have an anniversary
Ooh.
on Sunday with Paul and Betty Jean E. Roberts.
All right, so a little bit of everything for this weekend.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That party is for you. It's not really for the Super Bowl.
That's right.
It's for all you celebrating birthdays.
That's it. That's what it's really about. Of course, whatever your celebration, whether we know it or not, birthday, anniversary, otherwise, we hope you have a fantastic day. Wish you all the best. Remember, if you want to get those names to us, very simple. All you have to do is email them to birthdays@wflo.net or mail them to WFLO. That, of course, is 217 West 3rd Street, Suite 2, Farmville, 23901. Remember, for the right legal advice, to visit Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, on Main Street in Farmville. Terry sponsors your birthdays for the morning. Well, we can't get through this Friday without talking about the biggest news that happened yesterday, probably the biggest news of the week. Burt Bacharach, the gifted and popular composer who has delighted millions with unforgettable melodies, died yesterday at the age of 94. Wow. I love Burt Bacharach. I want to hear Burt sing them, but I love his music. I mean, he just wrote such great songs.
Yeah, he's a staple in that industry.
I mean, Walk On By, The Way to San Jose, Casino Royale. I mean, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winner.
Really?
Yep. Almost an EGOT, but not quite. Died at his home in Los Angeles. Natural causes yesterday. Over the past 70 years, only Lennon and McCartney and Carole King have rivaled his genius when it comes to catchy songs that have remained performed, played, and hummed for years, decades after they've been written. We play some stuff on my show on Saturday.
It's not bad company to keep.
Not at all. Had a run of top 10 hits from the 50s all the way into this century. His music heard everywhere, from movie soundtracks, radios, home stereos, iPods, whether it's Alfie, Say a Little Prayer, This Guy's in Love with You, it doesn't matter.
See, I think those are the most impressive musicians. I think they're the most gifted ones that can go across those generations.
And
Elton John was a master.
Can keep on putting them out there.
Yeah, that's
definitely
special. That is definitely special.
Of course, Dionne Warwick, his favorite interpreter. But he did a lot in tandem with Hal David. A lot of those great lyrics came from Hal David. He wrote songs specifically for Aretha Franklin, for Dusty Springfield, for Tom Jones, for Elvis Presley, for the Beatles, for Sinatra, and countless other artists. Even modern performers like the White Stripes and Twista and Ashanti have all harkened back. British punk bands, the Stranglers, talked about how Bacharach was an influence on them. So is Cyndi Lauper.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Over the years. Isaac Hayes has, talked about Bacharach. An innovator in his career. Also he grew up jazz and classical primarily, which you can tell kind of influenced his pop sound.
Yeah.
And it was very aligned to that Tin Pan Alley kind of thing, particularly in the 50s. According to Elvis Costello, who wrote the 98 album Painted from Memory with Burt Bacharach, he said basically it's a shorthand version of him. It's like an easy listening, agreeable to listen to, but there's really nothing easy about him. And it isn't. I mean, his styling was kind of difficult. He said, Costello said, try to play him, try to sing Burt Bacharach, and you find it's not easy. Actually, it's a special box set that's coming out March 3rd called The Songs of Bacharach and Costello that they put together. It was one of the last projects he was working on, apparently. He even triumphed at the racetrack. An 8-time Grammy winner, of course, Broadway composer of Promises, Promises, 3-time Oscar winner, received 2 Academy Awards. Of course, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He wrote Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Then, of course, when he was married to Carol Bayer Sager, The Best That You Can Do, theme from Arthur. Of course, other soundtracks, of course, Alfie, What's New Pussycat, Casino Royale were all movie tracks that he did. Frequent guest at the White House, whether it was Republican or Democrat. They all wanted Burt there and awarded the Gershwin Prize in 2012 and even sang That was when Obama was in office there with that whole Gershwin Prize. It was remarkable. Sammy Kahn, the brilliant standard songwriter who lived when Bacharach was having his hits, liked to joke. He called Bacharach a swinger. Said, men in his time were very different. Of course, I mean, remember, he was married to Angie Dickinson before he was married to
the poor guy,
Carol Bayer Sager. So
something about crackers.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Sager had said at one time that his routine stayed the same. It was only his wives that changed, which is like that's kind of great. Yeah. So a brilliant writer, of course. Austin Powers. He did was it the second movie? He actually did a cameo for Mike Myers, who recalled that whole scene and talked about how amazing it was to meet him. Just a brilliant artist and musician.
It's just those people. I mean, all the awards he got.
I think it was when he turned 90. I was doing lunch show, must have been a Wednesday, where I was filling in for Fran. And so everything I featured, the entire 45 minutes, were hits written by Burt Bacharach and performed by all these different genres of artists of what we did, or what I did. And I was able to fill the entire show. And just to show the diversity of this one songwriter.
Who do you think's more prolific than him? Who can you think
in the history of songwriting?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's several.
What about? Well, I'm pointing towards Dylan. I'm a big Dylan fan. He's had so much influence on so many people.
Dylan has.
But there's a difference between these two.
Very much so.
But they fill a need.
Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, when it comes to songwriting, though, my mind immediately goes to who, to me, are the top two. And that is Irving Berlin and Cole Porter. I don't think anyone can touch them for the longevity. Their songs are still recorded now, 100 years on. Mm-hmm. Their gift of – because they did both music and lyrics, where a lot of them now it's somebody does one, somebody does the other, where they did it all. And their command of language, the way they were able to play – with English and get a point across and tell a story. I think that's why those songs are still recorded. That's why I love doing my show on Saturday. I love that music. Nice. There's some of it now, but you don't get a lot of songs like those songs. And I think that's my appeal to Bacharach for me, and why I like a lot of Beatles. Again, there's a story there.
Yes.
In the music, and if you really listen to it, you can get something out of it.
Yeah, and these guys that Bacharach, they had so much influence without being necessarily directly doing it, but just they set the bar, they set the example, they made the formula, and made it work.
Well, and it's interesting because, like we just mentioned there in the story, you hear modern artists who you would think probably don't even know who some of these people are. And they talk in an interview. They'll talk about their influences, that songs they heard as a child, and they'll bring up Bing Crosby, or Sinatra, or in this case Bacharach or whomever, and you go, wow. But that's the influence that they had. Fran and I would talk a lot about Bing Crosby and how it's terrible that people today have no idea really how successful he is. If you look it up. Bing Crosby has more number ones than anybody in history, and always will. There's no way anybody, the way the market has changed.
I hadn't heard that. I thought that it was the Beatles.
No. When you look, you got to remember, when Bing started solo, there was no such thing. Nobody had any. You were just another instrument in the band. There was not singers. And there were there's sheet music credits, because some of the stuff was before recordings. So when you actually look in the Billboard history, which goes back to 1898, when Billboard started tracking, Bing Crosby, there are more pages of just Bing Crosby, Bing Crosby, Bing Crosby, Bing Crosby, top 10 hits. He's like 8 pages
Amazing.
in the book. It is remarkable.
You got to check that out.
Yeah. And a lot of the artists will mention it, that well, this was an influence because their parents listened or because of whatever. And you kind of hear the same things a little bit about Sinatra when people will talk about Bing. It was the way he used his voice as an instrument, the way he phrased the lines and things like this. And they did, because they were learning from the big bands.
Yeah.
And so they learned to sing based on instruments.
Right.
Which is it's really cool. It's interesting stuff. But yeah, so very sad news about Bacharach in the music world. We are very saddened. Did want to throw this out there. Just when you thought you'd seen all the Toy Story movies, because remember Disney said we're not doing it, we're done. Well, they lied because there's a Toy Story sequel, a new Frozen sequel, and a Zootopia sequel, all coming your way, even while Disney's cutting 7,000 jobs. Yep. Sequels of 3 of their biggest hits are coming your way. Wow. So, yeah.
That actually kind of drives me a little bit batty. Remakes. It's like, can't you be creative enough to do something new? And they always remake the same thing: Lion King, Batman.
I know. Well, I think what it is they look at, well, this did so great for us, it'll do it again. Well, not necessarily, especially if it's iconic. Because then people are connected. They don't want it redone. They don't want you messing with it. It's like when they tried to colorize all those classics. Remember when Ted Turner and people were all up in arms? No, leave it alone.
I thought it looked better. It was more colorful.
The only one I ever caught, I caught a piece of when they colorized the original Miracle on 34th Street. Saw it on TV. And it just, I don't know, just something about it. It was nice to see color, but I thought, I can picture it in color in my head. I don't need this. Just leave it alone.
Not all of us have that amazing imagination that you do.
Oh, well. Larry, I know you're on vacation next week. That was pre-planned. Enjoy it. John's coming up after the news and weather. We got to go. Bye.
Yay.
WFLO AM 870. Farmville.
ABC.
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 Farmville.
ABC.